Today is Sunday, January 16, 2011. You can see the row of spruce forms tight cover. Mandy entered this thicket at one end and something came out at the other below the power line here. You can see there's a pretty steep ridge that surrounds Princeton Valley where we live. Here are some old tracks, pretty straight line. Pretty deep depression. Doesn't look like a deer track. See what else I can find. Okay, here's one print that seems to fit the description of a cougar print, where you can see the pinky and the middle finger. It's hard to make out the rear lobe, but it does look like it could be that trilobe appearance. So this is in a deer track. We'll see what else we can. Probably can't see it, but there's a set of parallel tracks, big depressions. I'm going to go check that out. Okay, here I'm approaching the top of the ridge. It's pretty steep here. You see some tracks. I'm going to check these out. But this would be at the south end of the ridge. Working north along the ridge, there's all kinds of tracks up here. Here's some pretty deep ones, kind of that 2 footstep pattern, right leg, left leg, back leg in the front paw print. Just for reference, this is looking down on the power line. You can see the east ridge of Princeton Valley, which is an old glacial valley. Probably some lobe of a glacier. Really pretty. Okay, so here you can see like a footpath, probably dogs and their owners, but then you see those large saucer-shaped footprints, and I'm going to go over and take some measurements on that. Okay, here you see that set of footprints marked with some sticky tabs on barbecue sticks, and it's 3 feet from the beginning of the print to the next. You can see down the line, marked several of them, 2, 4, 6 of them. So, and they do tend to stagger a little bit. They're disappearing up into the woods that way. I'd love to go up that way, and I think I will follow it for a bit. So here I am on the top of the ridge, traveling north. I'm following a deer trail, and you can see it kind of gets scuffed from many deer traveling. And over here to my left you can see very distinct trail. It looks very different. The hoof marks are very evident in the bottom of the track, so I'm pretty confident those are deer. But to the right of this deer track is another set of those deep footprints, you know, about 3 feet apart. And you'll notice up here there's a lot of down timber, of course. This old oak forest is breaking down, and some kids have made some huts and so forth, but very distinctly different set of tracks. And I know for certain, I haven't been up here with the dog, and I don't see evidence of snowshoes or other dogs up here. Although here comes the dog behind me, that stinker. Okay, so the dog did find me. She's a good tracker, but she stopped to eat something in the snow. I'm not quite sure what it is, and stopped beside this tree. And if you look up the trunk, there are claw marks in sets of 3 or 4 going straight up this tree, up and up and up for quite a distance. So I'm not sure what that might be. Check that out. You can hear John calling for Mandy in the background. She's in a lot of trouble. I'll get a close-up. So here you see a close-up of those claw marks. You can see sets of 4. Maybe a little small for a big cat, but interesting. Okay, I'm off the ridge now, coming down towards where the sighting occurred yesterday. You can see my pole track from snowshoeing yesterday. There's also dog prints and lots of deer prints. This has been traveled through the night by the herd of deer that live here. So I'm picking up lots of tracks that look like dog and other carnivore type. I don't know if they would be weasels or what. So also the dog tracks, which are distinctive because of the claw marks. So I'll try to pick out some unique. Okay, here we are when the action all started yesterday. Coming up on this spruce thicket. Nice cover, lots of wildlife. Mandy likes to go in there. And I'm not responsible for bringing her along. I take no credit for that. But she likes to go in there and track rabbits and birds and stuff. So we'll follow along here, see what happens. John has skied ahead of me. Spoiled this whole tracking outing. But so you can see this long line of trees. And I'll pick up again approximately where I saw the animal. So here's John on his new backcountry skis, getting in the way. But this is approximately where I saw the animal emerge, and we're coming up about 50 yards from the base of the power line. I was up on top there previously. So we'll go a little bit further, see if I can find some. Okay, so I've made a big loop, come back to the start, and these are the original tracks. It's really hard to say what they are. I'm going to go look a little bit more closely. Okay, here you see them marked again with the little flags, little yellow flags, disappearing up the slope here. Again, the distance between the flags is about 3 feet. If I can get out my tape measure. Here you see the spacing on this one, where it's kind of taking a leap up a little incline, just shy of 5 feet. But no detail in the footprint, so it's hard to say. Okay, here's one footprint that it just doesn't stack up. It doesn't look like a deer track, but it's not distinct enough to identify it as another animal track, but it's clearly not deer. So I'll see what else I can